All right, guys, well, we have some problems. We were in the middle of hay harvest and everything broke. Both choppers broke, but also at the same time, you can see behind me, we're loading a truck with spuds with a loader. So yeah, we've got some spud problems. This cellar right here is rotten, and it's to the point where they don't want to take them at the plant. So our solution, we borrowed it's like a wash bin roller. I'll show you that here in a minute. And you run all the spuds through it and it washes them, cleans as much of the stuff off, and then we'll send them in. But we're setting that all up right now. And then we're just not using the piler and scooper anymore because it's so muddy in the cellar they can't even get them out. So we're just using a loader now to load the trucks. So let me go show you what we're working with here. So here's Trevor. He's getting one of our older loaders ready. We haven't used this one in a while. Josh is in here working on his hay chopper because it just keeps plugging up in this chute. And then back here is where we're setting up the wash station. So it's this big roller thing. I'll take you back there. So this is the wash station. We're trying to get it in position. So the potatoes will go in on this end. These big tanks down here, there's one up there and one right here. You fill those with water, and then there's a pump right there that pumps it up here. And there's this pipe here has a whole bunch of nozzles, and then there's two pipes inside that also have a whole bunch of nozzles just constantly spraying water. You put the potatoes on the front, they run up and get sprayed, and then they go into this and it just tumbles them and sprays them. So it breaks off and cleans off any of the rot and all the vines and all the stuff. And hopefully this works really well because they haven't been very nice about taking the bad potatoes, even though it was their fault they are bad because they didn't take them out soon enough. So I'll show you the inside of this. So it's got these two big pipes here, and they run full length, and they have these nozzles that just spray water down. So it just tumbles them. What we're going to do is, because we're going to be scooping it out with loaders, we didn't want to try and dump onto a piler. We're actually going to put one of our 10-wheeler spud trucks with the side down, parked right here, and we'll just dump into that and have that open, just flowing into this thing. So that's how we're going to get this all set up. Hopefully it works so we can actually get paid for the potatoes that are in the cellar, because they don't want to pay us for them if they're rotten. Christopher's just getting the jack down. He's going to unhook it. But also, these are all leveling legs, but the rams are not connected. So the rams are just sitting down in here. So we have to get the rams out and hook them up, because this isn't exactly level. So it's kind of at an angle. So we want it to be level. So we got to get all of these rams and put them on. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys inside the cellar. All this liquid is the rotten juice from all the rotten potatoes. So I have my muck boots on because it's pretty nasty. I didn't want to get my leather boots all, oh man. The heat coming out of the cellar and the smell is just awful. So I just thought I'd show you guys what we're working with. We have a water pump over here that we've been pumping all this water out. But now that we have the loader, we'll probably just leave the water and just drive through it. But we're going to be using the loader to get these out. And we're getting our wash station set up over here. We got to get a bunch of cords and switch the ends over, because our cords are different than this wash station that we borrowed. And then I don't know if we're using this piler. We might be using our other piler, so we have to go get that and pull it around too. But we got to get these out of here as fast as we can before all of them go bad. There's still quite a few good ones. The ones in the middle are good. The top's bad, the bottom's starting to rot, and the sides are starting to rot. But the middle is still pretty good. We just have to get them out before they just keep getting worse and worse. Because it's hot in that cellar. We cannot get it to cool down. Almost got it. There we go. Got it loose. Hey, the thing I hate the most about going outside is having to put on sunscreen or getting sunburned. And luckily today's sponsor of this video has a solution for that. So today our sponsor is Farmers Defense. They reached out and said that they had these sleeves. They're a spandex polyester sleeve that's made from recycled polyester, and they help with sunburn. They're UPF 50 protection, stinking deer flies. Speaking of deer flies, they also have some bug bite resistance. There's deer flies everywhere out here. But I've been wearing these for the past couple weeks and they've been awesome. They are moisture wicking and they help keep me cool on hot days. Like today it's 95 degrees and my arms are cold. The rest of me is pretty hot, but my arms are cold, so that's nice. They go to here. They have a little rubber grip right there to keep them from sliding down. They also have this handy little thumb hole that you can put your hand in and stick that in your glove, and then you're protected all the way around. And one problem, at least for me, is I can never find long enough sleeve shirts. So that's why I always have short sleeves on. Long sleeves only go to about here on me. So having these sleeves that I can just put on when I'm outside is great. Now I've had skin cancer twice. They've had to cut it out. And luckily they got it all. But in the 35 years that I've been alive, I've been out in the field most of that. So I've had a lot of sun exposure. So hopefully from now on, I won't have as much. If you want to get yourself a pair of Farmers Defense sleeves to keep you protected when you're outside, either in the garden or on the farm or at the livestock yard, go down in the description below and click on our link and you'll get 10% off your entire order. Hey, we got it rewired. We had to change the plug ends because ours are different, but we put their end on here so it'll plug in. We put our end on here, so we're gonna back our piler up here and we'll load trucks. The trucks will just back down and we'll load them right out of this. We got the 10-wheeler here. We're just gonna dump over the side to fill it. And we have that hose right there is hooked up to a riser to fill this up. So should work. Yep. Okay, we just got it.
Onto one of those eyelets and just like tie it to this side so it doesn't fall out. That'd be great, actually. I'll go find and see if I can find the rope.
Okay, we got the water filling this trough up. Can't really see. Oh, you can kind of see down in there, right there. Fill these up with water, and that's the water it uses to clean everything. And then these valves, they control the leveling jacks. Okay, well we've got it on, testing it. Everything works. This is how it operates.
Stand there. Stand right here. Stand right there. No,
I don't want to stand right here.
You stand right there. He's gonna open it up just a little bit. Just put these up wherever they go. I don't know where they go or I put them up.
He's gonna turn the water on a little bit more. Getting everything calibrated so we can hopefully start running. We got the piler coming around. That should just go right under this little flap right here. And then we should be able to run. Okay, we've got the water flowing. All these nozzles. And then there's nozzles inside of here that will spray and wash as it spins. And then the piler took to the end. And we already have some spuds, little pile of spuds. We have a truck right here with spuds ready to dump out that they already rejected. We need to wash them. Get going. Looks like it'll work. We see some potatoes now. Actually, we need a semi-truck. Okay, we've got some spuds. Trevor's going in with the loader and getting the spuds. Those lovely, nasty potatoes. And the machine is running. So this is a little pre-spray. Sprays them off a little bit. And then this sprays them, washes them, all the different pieces come flying off. Let's go around the other side. Okay, get a little view from the other side here. Spuds are coming off all nasty and brown. They're actually pretty good. There's just a few bad ones in there that ruin the whole bunch. You can kind of see them tumbling around in there. It's tumbling and breaking off all the sprouts and all the little things. You can see all the trash in here. And then when they come out, they look all pretty. That's a nasty binge. It kind of breaks them up, but these are going right to the plant. They're going to be processed and crushed and ground up and made into flake anyway. But look how nice those potatoes look after they then went through that washer. So clean all the rot off, all the dirt off, all the vines off, and should have pretty good spuds. They shouldn't have anything to complain about here. Looks good. Thing's working awesome. We'll have to clean out underneath every once in a while because it'll build up. So far, working great. And then down in here, we have a nice pile of freshly washed potatoes. Yeah, so we are washing rotten potatoes, making them clean and nice for the processor. It is kind of crazy how they go in that nasty and they come out nice and clean. Trying to clean this thing out. It's all plugged up. We've never run this before. We borrowed it, so now we're trying to clean it out, clean it up, get it running. Finally got it going. We ended up plumbing around the water pump and hooking directly right here. That's direct from the main line. That way we only get fresh water in, because this got clear full of mud and we spent probably an hour cleaning all this out. But we're running, we're going. We have clean spuds coming out the back, tumbling them, cleaning them really good. Hopefully we can just keep this thing running.
All right, we got a nozzle to wash this, the junk off of this. I just made a reducer for it. Now we'll see how good Tarrant can hold on to it. See how well of a job it does. We're gonna turn him into a firefighter right quick. Oh yeah, that does a great job. Oh boy.
I think it works.
These guys don't want to get drowned up here. Did a good job.
All right, so it is the next day, and I think we're finally running. We're not like stopping every 10 minutes to fix something. I think we're finally running. So let's go see. I'm going to show you what these spuds look like in this truck. So yesterday we had a whole bunch of stuff we had to figure out. So this thing, like the angle was off and the level was off and it was just having problems. But we got everything fixed. We have a big sprayer nozzle now to clean it all off. Kind of showed that a little bit yesterday. So before we were trying to just scrape this off with like a rake, and it took forever. So we have this big nozzle now, so we can just kind of blow all the, these are all sprouts and just little bits of rotten potatoes that have come off. And yeah, so now we have a way to actually clean it out so we don't have to stop every time to clean it out. And we have Trevor over here. He's running the loader for now, and he just dumps them into this truck, which is just on a nice, slow, steady pace so we don't overload it, to dump the spuds onto this. Another thing, we moved the truck over last night because it was dumping some over the other side, so now it's more in the middle and we're not really losing any off that side. All these sprayer nozzles, they were plugging up yesterday because how this is set up, it's set up to these big tanks fill with water, and then it just recycles the water, recirculates it, and uses that to pump, which I don't know how that's supposed to work, because it, after about 10 minutes, plugs every single one of these nozzles with the dirty water and sprouts and stuff. So now we actually hooked the main line to it with this hose, so it's just fresh water coming in, washing these potatoes off, so we're not recirculating any of the water. And you can see down here, that's all the water that is just coming through. It's all nasty water. We have a trench dug right here where it's just dumped all the water that comes into here and all the trash. It just dumps it out. And there's a belt right there that is pulling out all of the waste that falls down into this bin. It's augering it out. So it's kind of self-cleaning a little bit, but every once in a while, about every half a truck, we have to spray this off because we have so many sprouts, and some of these are actually little potatoes that are starting to grow off of the other ones. It just falls on these grates, and you can see that it's already starting to build back up. Falls on the grates, and then we have to spray it off. But for the most part, it's running pretty good now. Pretty steady. So hopefully, they said that we could take 12 loads a day, 12 semi-loads a day into the plant. So hopefully we can actually load 12 loads a day with this and keep everything running. Okay, we just made an adjustment. We sped this elevator chain up, going a little bit faster now, which made it so we could speed up the truck. The one thing we were worried about is right in here, if it's these big paddles, if it's pulling potatoes back inside this chute that runs along the bottom. That's one thing we're watching. If it is, then we'll have to slow it back down. Now we got Craig blowing it off again. So it just builds up. We just have to blow all the vines and stuff off. Let me go show you some of these potatoes, because going in, they're pretty nasty. But coming out in the back, they look pretty good. Let me crawl up here. Oh, if I can. Oh. So these look pretty good. Let me try and find a rotten one. That's crazy how this thing works. So like this potato, it just took all the rotten piece off the end and just ripped it off. So it just takes and it peels all the rotten parts off the potatoes, and what comes out is whatever's left is a decent potato. There's still a few rotten ones that get by, but I mean, you can't get them all. We're just trying to get the majority of them. But there's a lot of good potatoes. Like, look at that one. That's a good potato. So here's one that was partially rotten, and it just took the rotten bit, peeled it off, and the rest of that is a good potato. It's still firm too. It's not even squishy. So that's what this machine is doing. That tumbling is just taking and breaking off and chewing up all the rotten pieces, and then they fall out. And then we blow it out the other side with this spray nozzle. And then what comes out the end is a good clean potato. You can see all the vines up here that are just wrapped around. So it is cleaning them pretty good. There's not a whole lot of trash getting through. It's mostly just the good potatoes. Well, hopefully you learned something. I learned something because I honestly had never seen one of these run before. I knew they existed, but I didn't know what a wash plant did, how it worked, anything. So it works really good. We've thought about offering to buy this one because every once in a while we get a cellar with lots of vines or lots of rot, and it would be nice to be able to clean those so that we can take them in and not get all the tear. So make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, and I'll see you in the next one.